Oh, God.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? For First We Feast, I'm Sean Evans, and you're watching Hot Ones. It's the show with hot questions and even hotter wings. And today we're joined by James Corden. He's the 12-time Emmy Award-winning host of The Late Late Show with James Corden, and he has a brand new project on the way as well, starring alongside Sally Hawkins in the dark comedy drama series Mammals, which is set to release on Prime Video November 11th. James Corden, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
How are you around spicy food before we get started?
So I'm in for the challenge. Plus, I really like you, and my son thinks that this is just like the coolest. He thinks there's nothing we've done on The Late Late Show which even comes close to being as good as this in terms of viral moments. So when I told him, he was like, oh, wow. But now I'm here.
And you can't escape it.
Yeah, I'm genuinely quite scared by it, scared by all of it. See, I'm already a bit like, I'm gonna need more milk than that.
Don't worry, Dom's on
But I'm
it.
aware that most people already think that that's just a wing. They don't think this is anything, right?
Well, you don't know unless you try it. Maybe this will be like your new favorite food.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That's what I'm saying.
That's great. This has been brilliant. Thanks, man. Cheers, guys. I did it. I crushed it. Let's go.
So in Mammals, you play the role of Jamie, a Michelin-starred chef whose life begins to unravel when he discovers a shocking secret about his pregnant wife. What was the draw or pull for this particular project for you? Like, have you long been yearning for a chance to return to your dramatic acting roots?
The thing with this show, it's written by a playwright called Jez Butterworth, who
He's a hero of yours.
Yeah, he wrote Skyfall and Ford versus Ferrari, the new Indiana Jones. He also has written, his last two plays have won Tony Awards and Olivier Awards, a play called Jerusalem, a play called The Ferryman. They're the best nights I've ever spent in a theatre, watching those shows. And we actually met in New York. He said, look, I wrote this show a few years ago. Could you do it? And I read it, and I just emailed him straight back, and I was like, yes. I mean, it's the most excited I've ever been reading a script ever. Like, I'm so proud of it as a show. I really am. I'm trying to watch how you're reading it. And
like,
I
see if I
notice
have
you're
any
trying
tricks.
to avoid some lip touching. Would that be fair?
Maybe, or maybe I'm like evening it out. You know, like front half, maybe work this side a little bit, left side, work this side a little
You're
bit.
working
You don't want to,
sides?
you know,
Are
19
serious?
seasons, you learn the tricks.
You're working sides of your mouth? Like
Try not to
an
tip the-
NFL coach?
A balanced
You're
attack.
like, yeah,
it's a
you
balanced
are.
attack.
You're playing defense, and then you're like, go, hit him. Wow. Jeez. Again, very pleasant.
Lovely.
Very pleasant.
So far.
So far, very pleasant. I would go so far as to say I'm having a nice time.
There we go. We'll see if we can keep it going. So from my understanding, Hot Ones and Carpool Karaoke have somewhat similar origin stories in that you knew you had something special the second that you uttered the name and the concept, but the real challenge began when you actually had to start booking it.
Yeah.
What is it that publicists maybe didn't connect or didn't see about it in the original pitch?
It was everything, really. Like, I was so certain that we had a good idea. I just knew that, like, oh, this makes sense. I get it. I'm sure the way that you thought about this, like, I remember reading about you saying, like, people open up in an environment where they're feeling uncomfortable. It's very difficult to keep your guard up when you're like, oh, and you're sharing something together. Like, I think this would be very, very different if you sat there and just got the guests to eat and you didn't.
Right,
Like,
yeah, it'd be weird.
there's camaraderie in it that I can already feel when we're doing this. And so there's something about taking someone and placing them completely on their own in an environment that is so recognizable to us. We sing our lungs out in the car, along to the radio, and seeing someone doing something in the very same way that we do it, I think is quite humanizing. And I think that's what you've done so brilliantly here. It's a very, very humanizing segment, you know? Now, which part of your mouth are you going to work for this?
I'm bouncing over to the left this time.
Bouncing to the left.
Yeah.
I'm back left.
Smart. You know,
Back
I know
left.
that you're a rookie, but that's a veteran move right there.
I'm back left. Watch this. Watch this.
Whoa!
I'm back right. Yeah.
Allen Iverson crossover right there.
I'm back right. This ain't my first rodeo.
When we had Russell Brand on the show, he taught me the chant, up your ass, stick your blue flag up your ass.
Yes.
As a fellow West Ham supporter, do you have a
Yes.
favorite song or chant to scream from the terraces?
I actually had the experience, I think, of what it feels like to be like a West Ham manager. I'd gone to Emirates Stadium to watch West Ham play Arsenal, and I was sat right above the West Ham fans, and one started chanting, "One James Corden. There's only one James Corden." And I was like, oh my God, I couldn't believe it. I was laughing. I was like, these are like, I used to sit with these people in like the lower Bobby Moore at Upton Park. I can't believe this. Then one of them said, Corden, give us a song. Corden, give us a song. And there's a back and forth song that West Ham fans sing about, oh, East London is wonderful, is wonderful. So we sung that. I started it, they chanted back. I was like, this is amazing. And then someone just went, Corden is a wanker. Corden is a wanker. And then they all started. I was like, whoa, that took a turn. That really should have gone. And then one of them started singing, "Get your tits out for the lads." And I was like, oh, wow. I really had a moment. I imagine that's what it feels like to be West Ham manager. You win 3 games. The fans are like, you're amazing. And then immediately you're like, you're dead. And yeah, it was a lesson in just, you know, being... not taking everything with a bag of salt, you know?
Los Calientes.
Now, you said that like it's turning up a notch. I'm again working the back left.
I see it. But so far, you're doing good.
I'm gonna try and David Blaine it. I'm
just
gonna try and
show.
David Blaine it.
No
I'm
show.
just gonna try. Do you know David Blaine was on our show last week, right? 2 weeks ago.
Same with ours, actually.
Yeah, and I never know what he's gonna do, the trick. Because I love the element of surprise of it. He enjoys that too. So he comes on the show and he just goes to me, "Do you trust me?" He makes me take out a $100 bill and he lights it on fire and pours a mug of water on the ash of the $100 bill. And then he goes to me, "Drink it." So I drink it, right? I drink the whole thing. He then does the sketch. It's amazing. There's a bird comes out, lands on the stage holding a $100 bill with the exact same security numbers. It's crazy. As soon as we go to break, he goes, "Dude, I can't believe you drunk that." And our producer, Rob, runs up and goes, "You weren't meant to drink it. You weren't meant to drink the water." I'm like, well,
Why'd you
give me a heads
the
up.
option? Yeah.
Nobody said. And I go to David Blaine, I go, Am I gonna be all right? Am I gonna be okay? He goes, yeah. He goes, you know when you put a cigarette out on your tongue? It's no worse
Same
than that.
thing.
And I was like, okay, because that's a reference point that lots of people are aware of. You know, like, oh yeah, of course, yeah, did it on Friday, yeah. So I'm gonna blame it.
Blame it.
Okay, here we go. Okay, I feel like we're in the change zone. I feel. Can I be honest? As a taste, that's delicious. You know, it's set my taste buds alight. They're not lying, but they've put it on quite a low flame. You know, they've put it on it's a simmer.
Yeah, nice pleasant
It's a slow
simmer.
roast.
Nice slow
Yeah.
roast. Nice slow roast.
Yeah, we can put this on, leave it all day. The meat's gonna fall off the bone come 6 p.m.
All right, James, we have a recurring segment on our show called Explain That Gram, where we do a deep dive on our guest Instagram, pull interesting pictures that need more context.
Okay.
So I'll show you the picture over here on the laptop. You just tell us the bigger story. Laptop, please. Thank you, Bill.
You're welcome.
I mean, I think it is worth saying that I almost never post on Instagram.
Yeah, actually, side note, we went into the Gettys because also they're easier to clear and post.
Okay, cool.
But that's a hot one secret. All right, that's
I hear
that's
ya.
host
I
to
hear
host.
ya.
All right, Don't
I
tell
got you.
anybody.
Don't you worry about that.
Do you remember the moment that gave you the biggest adrenaline rush while ripping through the sky in a 40s era fighter jet flown by Tom Cruise?
I do. So Tom called, and you know, it's Tom Cruise. So he just goes, "James, listen to me. I am never, ever gonna put your life in danger. You just gotta trust me." You know, it's all like that. And what was amazing, and what he did say that really did put me at ease was, he said, the reason we have to do it now is I'm flying every day. I'm completely match fit. The most terrifying bit, he just went, okay, are you ready? And I was like, for what? And I can't remember what he called it, like a death roll or something, where basically the plane just goes, what should I do with the wing?
Yeah, there you go.
The plane goes, you're here and you're up this way, and it just goes like this. And twists, and you're like falling to the earth, and you can see the earth, and you're in an old plane, so it's really hot, and you can't help but just go, and then he pulls you back up, and he's of course just cracking up because he just thinks this is hilarious. There was a lot going through my mind when I did it. A lot of it was like, if something happens bad, for the rest of their lives, my children might be somewhere and people will go, do you know who that is? Their dad killed Tom Cruise. Like, that would be the takeaway. My death would just be irrelevant. It would just be the fact that it's because of me. It's a segment for my show. I killed the greatest movie star, perhaps of all time. And they would have to live with that. See, it even smells a bit different, no? Okay, I'm going in.
There's no chewing strategy that works at a time like this, right?
It's just all out attack now. Oh, okay. Okay, I see what you do here.
Mm-hmm.
You lulled me.
Yep.
Oh, God.
So since the 1950s, hosting a network TV show, I think, was a job that most people considered a lifetime appointment, but that's obviously a thing of the past, with multiple hosts in the last couple of years, including yourself, announcing imminent departures. Do you have a take on the endless ink spill, the conjecture and questioning about the future of late night?
You know, historically, the slot that I'm in, that 12:30 slot, has been like students, stoners, insomniacs, night shift workers. That's your key demographic. As far as I can work out, all of those people are still watching things. They're just not really reaching for the button to go like, what time is it? We should put that on. And I think this probably happened before I started the Late Late Show, or it's starting to happen. I've certainly felt it happen while we're doing it. The nature of them has changed. Whereas like what it used to be was like, this was the only place you'd ever see.
Right.
These huge stars as themselves, you know? And now, like, you can open your phone and you can see some of the biggest stars in the world in their house, talking to you from their kitchen. So suddenly the notion of a talk show has somehow removed that
that access.
You're adding an additional step where you're like, well, that's not, I just saw you in the gym, walking down a road, you know? I've seen you at your most human. So it's a tricky thing as like what I would call sort of like a traditional talk show host to sort of think about and combat. Whereas I think something like this feels completely organic, because I think it came from a really organic place of what you wanted to do. You know, look, it used to be, how many networks were there in America? 4?
Right.
3? It's now there's just all of these places to try and sell whatever it is you're trying to do, you know? And it's a very, very interesting time in that sort of traditional linear television, because I still think it has value. It's just, I don't know, trying to figure that out, I think, is a bit of a minefield. I do. Karma sauce. So does that mean it's karma for things that my mouth may have done in the past?
Perhaps.
Okay, well, let's hit the disco. I like too much. I like taking too much.
Right.
Hello.
Wow. I'm just looking in the eyes.
That's so stupid.
I know. And now it seems like such a distant memory when you were like on the first 3 wings and you're like, oh, this is actually very pleasant and nice.
Swallow it.
I know.
You're not letting me swallow it. My body's going, don't do this.
I know.
My tongue's going, get rid of it.
Go ahead. Whoa. You got it, though. Somehow, some way. Frozen in time.
Oh, God.
I know. That's some bass. So in the Carpool Karaoke episode featuring Paul McCartney dropped, I know.
Oh, God.
We actually sent it around to all of our team because it was inspiring to see what probably went into that episode on a production level. Was there anything in that episode you remember fighting for, even though it seemed impossible to pull off?
Oh, everything. Oh, see, I'm glad you've reached for the milk. That makes me feel better because look where I'm at.
I know. I'm trying to keep up.
Oh, fuck. It was tough to get him to do it. You know, he was in, he was out. Brilliantly, he said, okay, fine, I'll do it. And he said to me, I don't want to go in my house. I don't want to go in my house. I haven't been in there since I left when I think it was 18 or 19. And I just remember going to him, I just said, Paul, your only day's work today is to have a great time. If you don't want to go in your house, of course we won't go in your house. But let's not rule it out now. Let's see how we feel when we get there. And if we get there and you don't feel comfortable, you're not having a good time, you don't want to do it, give me a look and I'll drive on and I'll take the blame. So you can actually see it on the bit. I go, should we go in? He goes, yeah, why not? And we go in, and I'll always be really, really proud of that and incredibly grateful to Paul for taking a leap with us, really.
And speaking of going for it.
These segues you've got, I know that you think they're charming. They're not. They're getting annoying. And speaking of shitting your pants, let's move on to this. Okay.
I never get used to this one either.
Oh my God. Oh my fuck.
I know. I got you, doggy.
I know.
So you performed at the National Theatre.
How can you pretend like this isn't happening? How can you just go back to like performing at the National Theatre when...
So I always just like kind of
my mouth's telling me I'm going to die.
Right. I ignore the absurdity of this show.
That's how
I approach it. I just always approach it as if we're not even eating wings. I write it as if we're not eating wings.
Dust.
Exactly.
None of us are here. We're all dust. We're all dust.
But
Is this even happening?
I'm connected. Right.
Maybe we're just a simulation. My tongue doesn't know what's happening to it.
Right.
That's the best way I can describe it.
Confusion
My
and
tongue
chaos.
is sending messages to my brain saying, I think you should go to the hospital.
Right.
And my body's going, don't be silly. None of us are even here. We're all dust.
So you performed at the National Theatre, hosted a late night talk show, and were even appointed an OBE. But do you ever think that your greatest cultural contribution might have been Smithy's Indian takeout order and Gavin and Stacey?
It might be. Certainly to some people, yes, for sure.
Do you remember the order?
Prawn burner, chicken burner, lamb burner, chicken burner, prawn burner, keema naan, mushroom rice, bag of chips and 9 poppadoms. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. And then we're all just gonna, whoa, hang on, why? Wait. Why are we all just, because it's nice. No, it's not for me. Because I can guarantee somebody here, probably Stacey, has ordered a korma. Am I wrong? Mick, am I wrong? No, you're right, actually, she has. Right, and that's pointless to me. It's futile, because I won't touch it. But I can guarantee that Pete is already thinking about my booners. Pete, have you thought about my booners? Well, yeah, right, but they're my booners. If you want a booner, order a booner. No, I've had enough of it. It's the same when I went out with Chinese and his missus last week. They're all digging into mine going, yours really nice. I'm like, yes, it is. That's why I ordered it. In fact, forget it. I want no part of it. I'll order my own and I'll eat it in the car. That's, yeah, it's so much fun. Yeah, I'm surprised I remember that much of it. Unique.
Garlic.
Oh, jeez. I'm really trying to keep it away from my lips.
I know, now it's like we're coming up with tricks. You know?
I'm chewing very fast, is what I've realised.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've taken quite a lot of cocaine.
Jaw's going.
Let me tell you about my dad. So hang on, this is 19 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
How many episodes a season?
12 episodes a season. And then the early ones we did, like, we had one season, like season 2 was like 55 episodes.
Right.
We were just like, it's
What are you laughing
nuts.
at?
Because they remember what it was like to work on it.
You what?
Like all of those are my day ones.
Yeah,
Those are
yeah,
all
yeah.
my day ones. You know, it's like they've been along for this entire journey. And like season 2, we just were like, we got to turn out episodes. We got to turn out episodes.
Yeah.
Like we just got to
There's
hit.
something
We just got to
about
hit. We just got to
arriving
hit.
every Wednesday. Every Wednesday there's an episode.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hit that same time, 11 a.m., so that the audience becomes conditioned to like know that at this time, like this is what you whatever. So we were just like, let's run it up.
And the idea, we went through a similar thing with our show where we would just try, like, I think we've done 1,150 shows. I think we've done 65, 70 carpools, something like that. But we went through a stage of like, let's try and do as many as we can. And then as soon as it got to a point, it's like, okay, well now we just need to kind of protect it.
Right.
Try and keep it in some rarefied air. I get it.
Uniquely. All right, James Corden.
The last dab.
The last dab. Nice shake. Good fundamentals right there.
Good fundamentals.
You don't have to if you don't want to.
Fuck you, Sean.
Oh. Cheers. To you, James.
Hang on. And now how much of this? Like that?
Oh.
Too much?
Yeah. But we're here.
I wonder who I'll be after this.
Right. It's a transformative baptism by fire.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Born again, out of the hot sauce. To you, James Corden.
I'm gonna tell you, in case this does kill me, not immediately, but tonight. Absolutely loved every single second of this. You're so good at this. You're so brilliant at it. And everyone was like, it's cool, Sean's gonna take you through it. And I was like, okay, it's completely right. You are absolutely brilliant at this. You should be so proud of it.
Oh, thank you, James. And speaking of being proud, I know you walked in here having no confidence in yourself, but look at you taking on the wings of death and still on your feet. And only one more question before we close things out. What I want to do is draw a connection to this experience right now in your memoir. May I have your attention, please? Where you begin every chapter by giving out the precise atmospheric conditions in order to optimize the read. So, if someone is watching this episode of Hot Ones with James Corden, do you have in your mind a best musical accompaniment?
I do. I absolutely do. There's a song. You either listen to it before or after. It's called Go Easy Kid by Monica Martin and James Blake. I think it's the best song of the year. The refrain says, go easy, kid. It's only rock and roll. And at the end of the song, they say, go easy, kid. In 20 years, kid, you're gonna look back and wish you grabbed it all by the throat and said, fuck it. It's only rock and roll.
Mic drop, and look at you, James Corden taking on the wings of death, living to tell the tale, and now there's nothing left to do but roll out the red carpet for you. This camera, this camera, this camera, let the people know what you have going on in your life.
I have a new show. It's called Mammals. It's on Prime Video, November the 11th. I'm as proud of it as anything I've ever done. And, you know, none of us are here. It's all dust.
You did it.
That was such fun. Did you have a good time? Oh, it was amazing. I absolutely loved it. Thank you so much.
Hey, what's going on, Hot Ones fans? We brought the heat to the freezer aisle with our Hot Ones boneless chicken bites, and you smashed sales records and all of our wildest expectations. So what did we do? We made more. That's right, we are in with 5 new flavors of Hot Ones boneless chicken bites and 5 new ways for you to bring Hot Ones home. From the classic to the classic garlic Fresno edition to the Los Calientes trio of flavor, Verde, Rojo, Barbacoa. Visit HotOnesChallenge.com for more information and to find a store near you. Hot Ones boneless chicken bites. You're in the hot seat now.